a nested loop here, but the loop is now while, so there's a condition with it. So now, while holes I is greater than 0, so whatever value stored in that particular hole must be greater than 0 to run loop. So, diba kanina, we have 2 in our index 1 of the holes. So it means that the loop will run 2 times because there is 2 elements stored in that particular hole. We'll be exhausting that until ma-reach natin that the hole is now empty, it is now 0. We'll be going on to the next element in the array. So now, I didn't explain the code below that while loop, so I'll be explaining it. So array index, which is yung element in that particular index, will receive the value of I, which is yung kung ano man na particular iteration na yun, plus the minimum. Kasi di ba nag-minus tayong minimum dun sa element. And then here we'll be adding it again. And then we'll be incrementing index by 1. So it means that we're already done with the 0 index of the array. And now we'll be moving on to the next index, which is now 1 because we are incremented by 1 in the index. So, and then of course decrement holes I by 1 since we're done with the holes. Diba? Holes nung ano. Kasi kung hindi natin din-decrement, of course magiging infinite loop siya. And then we're done with the rebuilding of the sorted array. And now you just need to call the function in your main loop and input the array as parameter or the parameter as argument, and after sorting print each element in the sorted array. So I guess we're done here. Sorry for the noise, which is the dog. Okay, thank you for listening.
Good day everyone, so I am Morales Daniel and I will be presenting the C++ sample code and implementation for Pigeonhole sort. So let's start. For C in and C out. For dynamic array, dynamic number, algorithm. For implementation this is required for minimum element and max element STL function for that. So STL function stands for the standard template library. So it provides a rich set spanning various categories primarily within a containers. So containers, algorithm, and iterators. So and then using namespace. So I'm going to create a function. So vector int, data type int with a pass by reference. Pass by reference array. So I'm going to use if else, which is to check if the array is empty. Array.empty, and then return to this. So next step is to find the smallest value and then the largest value. So let's create that. The min val is equal to min element array that begin array.n then a semicolon. Semicolon. Same goes with the max. Just going to copy this. Yeah, change it to max. 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 So next step is to calculate the range, also to determine the required size of the pigeonhole array. So this age range is equal to max element, max val minus the minimum val plus 1 semicolon. And then the next step is going to create an array vector. Using vector is to ensure the to ensure if it is stable, because duplicates are stored together into the inner vectors. So let's create that vector. Data type in, then pose, and then range. And then the next step is we're going to use for loop to place every number into its calculated pigeonhole. So let's read that for int number, and then array. Then I'm going to create index for calculation. Index. So equal to number minus min val. Then here the purpose for this is we subtract min val to shift the entire range para ma-ensure niya na the smallest number always maps into the index 0 regardless of the positive or negative values. And then next step is host index dot pushback number. So the purpose for this is to place the number into to the inner vector at the calculated index. So next step is to collect going to create the current index that can take the value of 0, and then going to use for loop for cons auto password reference to holes, and then please iterate through the pigeonholes from index 0 to the end. And then the next step is another loop. So it will array of, and then the purpose for this is to iterate through all elements. So dadaanan niya yung lahat ng elements para makolekta niya into the current hole, pulling out the duplicates. Yep. And then array current index index plus plus is equal to number, equal to number. So yan, equal to number. I put it the wrong way. Such here. Start talking about this. Yeah, I have issue here, so it must be here in this point. Then just do this. Modify to code. Yep. Okay. So next step is we're going to to demonstrate now into the int main vector data type int, and then remove data and input this input number. So and then going to see out just to see if this program in all program sorry, and then end line, and then going to use the while loop cn input number data that push back into the input number. So not curly basis. And then the purpose for this is to read the numbers until the input stream fails. If you put a character or a letter, character, it will stop entering cn. And then if I'm going to use else data.empty, so we need to curly braces, then curly braces, and then cout new line. I think a new line here. No data entered. Exiting program. Exiting program. So we'll return to 0. The purpose for this, if the data is empty, it will show this cout this data, and then it will return to 0. And then another, to display the unsorted data, we'll create to clarify original number, which is original number semicolon, and then a loop to para ma-cout niya isa-isa. Then data and space, and then see out.